everybody, Nico here and welcome to the Trading Setup channel. There's too many indicators. This confuses traders, especially beginners. So I suggest we simplify things and work through a simple strategy. No complicated settings or dozens of indicators here. Just a simple combination that will allow you to start trading today, even if yesterday you didn't know what trading was. Make sure you watch until the end if you finally want to make the move from being a chaotic trader to one who follows clear logic. By the way, I want to give you something. I've created a free resource. It's not a course or an info product, but a live Telegram channel for those who are really tired of empty information and want real practice. Inside there, you'll find daily trading hacks, the ones I'm currently using myself. Indicator settings, not stuff like open up the RSI, but indicator combinations and settings that actually work. And also risk management guides, including how to use martingales safely so you don't keep blowing your account. The link's in the description, or you can scan the QR code on the screen. I don't accept just anybody, only those who are really willing to put in the work. So come join us, there's already a bunch of people there who started growing. Now let's get to the video. Okay, so before we start trading, we need to get our platform set up for today's strategy. We're going to be adding two indicators today, and I'm going to walk you through this. We're going to add, first of all, Bollinger Bands. We do need to make some changes to these settings though. We're going to change the period to 20 and the deviation we're going to make 2. Oops, we're going to make 2. Now, I like to change the style of the Bollinger Bands. You don't have to do this. This is a cosmetic thing. This will not influence the way the strategy works at all. This is just, I'm used to having my Bollinger Bands like this. I like them this way. So, like I said, it's totally cosmetic. What's important is that you do the period of 20 and the deviation of 2. That's you do need to set that. Okay, so we've got the Bollinger Band set up. Next up, we're going to add an RSI. And again, we're going to change some settings. We're going to make this period 20 as well. And again, I'm just changing the style. This is going to make it easier for me to see the movement of the RSI above the middle line. There we go. Okay, so the RSI, you need to remember the RSI is a momentum indicator. So technically, while it is above the 50 line, it shows bullish momentum, and while it's below the 50 line, it shows bearish momentum. So keep that in mind. It's a momentum indicator. So I'm going to be totally ignoring oversold and overbought areas on the RSI. I'm not going to pay any attention to it. What is important to me is where the RSI is in relation to the 50 line. Okay, so there's a couple of ways that we can use the Bollinger Bands. I would absolutely love it today if we can get a look at a Bollinger Band squeeze. That's a very, very nice setup. One that I use quite often, but you won't see it form often. Let's see if we can find a quick example of what it looks like so we can at least have an idea of what we're looking for. So when you have the Bollinger Bands on your screen, you will notice that they open up and then contract again. So this is the way the Bollinger Bands behave, but there are times when we get what we call a squeeze. Now, what happens with the squeeze is the lines, the upper and lower line of the Bollinger Band contracts and stays close to each other for a while. Let's go to another asset, see if we can maybe find one. These bands will contract and stay together for a while. When this happens, you have to be on the lookout for the break. So price is going to break either up or down. No argument there. Let's look at Euro USD. So when this happens, price will break to either side. The thing you need to watch for with the Bollinger squeeze is once price starts breaking, we'll just take a trade in the direction of the break. No squeezes on the OTC charts though. It is unmistakable. Once you see it and you know how to identify it, it is something that you cannot miss. will see it quite often. Okay, so we are really struggling to find a squeeze on all assets so far. I suppose that's going to diminish the chances of us actually getting a trade with a squeeze, but I suppose it's not impossible. Let's just have a look. I'm just going to waste a few more seconds to see if I can maybe find one. I would love to show you guys what a decent squeeze looks like. This is not something you're going to see every 5 minutes though, but once you see a squeeze forming, it's a good idea to pay attention. So this is a very sloppy example. I like it to be tighter, but what you see here is we see the Bollinger Bands opening up and contracting, making these bubbles as they move along. But here they started leveling out. Both the upper and middle lower band leveled out. So once price breaks to a direction, we can see that it started running in that direction. So this would have been a buy entry for me if I saw this, but like I said, I like the squeeze to be a little bit tighter. The tighter it is, the more explosive the break will be. But this is what a squeeze looks like, more or less. So your upper and lower band will flatten out and price will stay in between them for a while. Usually like 8 or 10 candles will becomes a decent squeeze. And then once it explodes, once it starts opening up and your Bollinger Band starts opening up and price is running either in the upper band or the lower band, you just go in the direction of that, of the direction that price has broken. Okay, so you can kind of see it here. This is not considered a squeeze, but we can see how it leveled out. And then when it started running, when the Bollinger Band started opening up again, we can see that price was running in that direction. So let's, now that's one way that we can use the Bollinger Bands. The other way that we can use it is quite often the middle line price will respect the middle line, the middle Bollinger line. I like to take trades off this. And then also when we have the bubble like this and price goes from one side to the other side and starts running again. Remember, Bollinger Bands is the Bollinger Bands is a volatility indicator. So it shows us volatility of price. When these bands are opening up, we know there's a lot of volatility. When the bands are low, getting closer towards each other, we can see that volatility is decreasing. So while the bands are opening up, lots of volatility is increasing, and when they are contracting, the price is smoothing out. Basically, I suppose you can say smoothing out. When you see price behaving like this, not the best idea to look for trades using the Bollinger Bands. Another thing that I love using, this is more on a 1 minute chart though, that I do use this, is when we have a price run on either side of the Bollinger Bands. If we have a price run, like we had a price run in the upper band here, when we get price starts turning, if price does a turn, it goes through the middle band and heads straight towards the opposite band that it was running in this case the lower band, it was running in the upper band, made a U-turn and came back for the lower band. If we get a tap of the bottom Bollinger Band, only while the bands are still busy closing, not opening up, they must be busy, must still be closing. As soon as we touch that band, I will take it a buy trade. In this case, a buy trade. If it's other way around, I'll take a sell trade just for 1 minute. It's for the candle duration. It almost always turns back, but again, this is not something that you're going to see. There we go. Price was running in the lower band, made a U-turn, went up to the top band. This candle pierced it, but these two Bollinger, the upper and lower bands were still contracting. They weren't level, they weren't opening up, they were still busy closing, clearly closing. So there's a sell trade as well. Like in this case, the bands are opening up. I'm not going to take a reversal trade. Be very, very careful. If those bands are not closing, busy contracting, don't take a reversal trade. That's just asking for a problem. So these are different ways that we can use the Bollinger Bands. You can use it in combination with other indicators as well. I like the RSI. It shows me momentum. So what we're going to do mostly is we're going to look at the Bollinger Bands, and we're going to see if we can pick up some trades from the middle line, and hopefully we will run into a Bollinger squeeze as well at some point. So we're going to look at what the Bollinger Bands are doing, and then we're going to look at what the RSI is doing. And then we're going to take some trades. So our platform setup, we're going to be primarily on 1 minute charts here. We're going to alternate between 1 minute and 3 minutes depending on which Bollinger signal we're getting, and as we go along I will explain that. But now that we are ready to, now that we have our chart set up, we can start looking for some entries. Okay, our platform's all set up, and we can start flipping through some assets to see if we can pick up any trades using the Bollinger Band combined with the RSI. So we're just going to have a look and see if there's anything that's busy setting up. We have kind of a squeeze here building. It's a very sloppy one, but you can see how in relation to the previous movement, this area here, the bands are very close together, and price is moving within a range here. We do have a range inside this. Let's have a quick look. Something like that. Just roughly. Not gonna worry too much about exact. Okay, so price is sticking in this range here, and we can see how these bands are basically flat. The upper and lower bands are basically flat, and they're tight. They're not making bubbles like normal movement. They're not far apart like normal movement. So this is a range. We need to see if price breaks. You can see here they're still kind of contracting. The bands are still kind of closing down. We're not going to look for an entry right now. What we are going to do is wait and see. Once price breaks out of the squeeze range, now this area here is the squeeze range. If we break out of it and the bands start opening up, very important that the bands are opening up as well. Once these start opening up, we can just take a trade in the direction that price is moving at that point in time. Looks like it's going to be downwards, but this is too early to tell. I wonder if I should take a shorter trade. Okay, this looks like it's breaking now, right? We have 10 seconds left on this candle. Once this candle closes, we should see the bands start opening up, because they're not. Okay, so that's definitely it. Let's go with the sell here. You can see now that the Bollinger Band's opening up. Upper one's curling upwards, the bottom one is curling downwards. This should start running now. It's a very sloppy squeeze though. I really wish we could get a beautiful classic example of a squeeze, because that thing's flat. A squeeze is flat. There we go. There's the price starts running. While we're waiting on that, just want to check something quick. If you find a decent example in the 1 hour or 5 minutes. But if you go and simply Google Bollinger Band squeeze, you will get a ton of examples of a proper squeeze setup, and maybe an explanation that's a bit more clearer than mine. Sometimes I explain a little bit all over the place, but still, we have a squeeze, and then squeeze is breaking, and this was the break here, and it's tanking. So this is usually what happens after the squeeze. You just need to wait for price to show you which direction it's going. So it could be that this could have broken to the top side as well. Do not expect, just because we have been in a downtrend, that we will continue the downtrend. This happens often, but not always. So don't assume, wait for the break and just go along with it. It's so simple to do. Let's take this away. There we go. Okay, so now we have price. This candle is completely outside of the Bollinger Bands and proper outside. When this happens, sometimes you're going to see a drop like this, but the RSI would be above. We would have been in a more of an upwards move. Then I would consider taking a reversal trade, probably like a 2-minute trade, 1 or 2 minute trades, because we're on the 1 minute candle here. Just a 1 or 2 minute trade. But the RSI is very low at the moment. So, like I said earlier, the RSI is a momentum indicator. So this is telling me there's a lot of bearish momentum. I don't want to go against that. That's why. You don't just want to go take a reversal trade when price gets outside of the Bollinger Bands. I do take those trades, but there needs to be a reason for that, for me to take them, not just because they are outside of the Bollinger Bands. And there we go. Especially after a break, you need to also keep in mind that we just had even though it was a sloppy squeeze, we just had a Bollinger squeeze, which we traded. We traded the squeeze. It'll be foolish to put this into reverse and start taking an upwards trade now. That would not be a very smart thing to do, I think. Let's see if we have something. This might actually give us, as I was explaining earlier, when price is running in one side of the Bollinger Bands, in one of the bands, and turns around and goes to the opposite band while the bands are still contracting. That might be a reversal trade, but this is way too far from the bands, and now they started opening up as well. So definitely not going to be a trade for us there. Let's see what's happening. Okay, so RSI is hitting the 50 line here, but this is in the middle of nowhere. If price was here right now, well, when the RSI hit the 50, I would have considered taking a sell trade. Again, we're moving upwards. Oh, sorry, the RSI is showing us bearish momentum. We're just tapping in. I'm not gonna look for something to trade there. That's the entry we just had. Okay, so this is not a squeeze. This is just a normal contraction. But we might get a pop out of that as well. RSI is below 50. If we get a decent close, we can go with let's make it a 2-minute sell. I want these bands to start opening up now again to show me that there's an increase in the volatility. It doesn't look like it's going to though. This could have been a nice sell. If this candle came down more, would have been a good sell opportunity. Okay, we're not going to spend time on stuff that could have been. Let's see if we can find something to trade. Okay, so here's what I was saying earlier. Price is hitting the middle band now, and my RSI is still below 50. So what we can see here maybe is a reversal coming up. What I want to see is a close below the middle line and my RSI turning downwards. Then I'll take a sell trade on this. If not, well, no trade. But conversely though, if the RSI breaks through, we might get a buy opportunity as well on this. RSI is being very stubborn, doesn't want to go. We have 40 seconds left on this candle. RSI is turning down beautifully. If I get it close below my middle line, I'll consider taking a sell trade. Let's just wait and see. 30 seconds left on this. I'll wait and see what it does. Like I said, have to get it close below the middle line. Looks like we're getting it. RSI is turning down beautifully. It looks like we're getting it, but not yet. Nice, this spike back. No, okay, so this is becoming something that I'm not going to trade. Now, this should be a decent sell for us. This should actually be a decent sell opportunity. If it pushes up, I'll take one more. Okay, so the reason I took this is if we look at previous movements that were the same. Let me just find one that was more or less the same. Okay, so this is kind of the idea. We had price go up. No, wait. We're moving downwards. We had price go up, but the bands were contracting. We can see that especially the lower band wasn't really closing up while, it wasn't really opening up while price was going upwards. It was just kind of like leveling out. So price came back, hit the upper side and got rejected. And this candle broke through, this candle here broke through the middle line. My RSI attempted to break the 50 area for a few times, 1, 2, 3, 4 attempts to break through the 50 line from below. It kept on failing, telling me that bearish momentum was being conserved. We didn't switch to bullish momentum even while price was pushing upwards. Price hit the upper bands, got rejected, and simply broke through. We had the same example here. Was running downwards, pushed back, tried to pierce tried to get through to the upper bands, failed, came back, and when it did come back, it failed spectacularly. So we got these actually two examples here. Sloppy one here, but still we have this push upwards. Bands held it in place. It came back down right immediately and just kept on falling. And there was a few trade opportunities there. And we have 1 year as well. 1 minute left on this. Let's see what happens. So the band's keeping price there, which is awesome. RSI maintaining bearish momentum. I love trading with the RSI like this. I 100% of the time ignore the oversold and overbought areas of the RSI and the stochastic for that matter. Actually, not the stochastic. The stochastic I do use it, but for the confirmation of divergence when I'm trading with divergence, not for actual oversold and overbought levels. There we go, beautiful, lovely. A few seconds left on this, but back to the RSI. I do love using the RSI like this. It confirms. You can use the RSI in combination with so many different indicators, and if you simply look at what the momentum of the current price move is, it will save you a lot of heartache, and it will help you differentiate the noise from other indicators as well. That was a beautiful trade. Let's see if we can pick up one more. There's a massive crossover. I'm not going to mess with that candle. A beautiful rejection here on the middle band. This should be a decent sell entry. Let's just take a trade here and see what happens. I am not going to lie, I'm kind of tempted to add a sell trade here, but I'm not going to. However, the RSI is beautifully bearish. We had this little test here, broke through, failed at the upper band of the Bollinger Bands, failed at the upper band, came right back down to bearish momentum, and we should continue seeing bearish momentum. We should see price hitting this area here at least, I suspect. At least that over the next 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, so the bands rejected, price rejected off the bands and came straight back. And important, the fact that it immediately broke through the middle line as well. Price broke through the middle line after being rejected. You will, there's another example there. Same concept, looks a little bit different, same idea. And it's the same as the trade we had previously as well. You'll see this often with the Bollinger Bands. Does it mean that when a candle crosses the middle line, I'm taking a trade? No, it does not. But what it does mean is when we get this rejection here, price comes right back through. My RSI maintained bearish momentum, and I just kept on going with it. So, as with any other indicator, we cannot use the Bollinger Bands by itself. but using the RSI to complement it, to just confirm the movement, the direction of the movement and what is happening, works beautifully. I really encourage you guys to do some research on the Bollinger Bands squeeze. It's like I said, it's not, you're not going to see one every 5 minutes. Even if you trade multiple assets, you're not going to see one every 5 minutes, but you are going to see it daily. And it's, if you understand it and you know what to look for, and you understand how that you have to wait for the squeeze to pop, it will help you just get a couple of extra trades with very high probability of actually winning. Beautiful trade here. Okay, fantastic. So a couple of trades using the Bollinger Bands. Bollinger Bands showing us volatility, RSI showing us momentum, and we combined volatility and the momentum just to go with the direction of the where price is going, where the price, to understand where the price is bouncing off the bands or actually going with the bands, and that's where the squeeze comes in as well. Okay, if what I've said resonates with you and you want to join live trading sessions where I demonstrate how I work my strategies, share my settings and fresh setups, message me directly. I have a private community of traders on Telegram where we do real work every day. No chatter, no motivational posts, just practice, analysis, trades, mistakes, adjustments. You can only get in by sending me a direct message. I handpick every member. This is not a handout. This is a private traders club. And at some point I'm going to be closing access, so make sure you get in while it's still open. Contact is in the description. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. If you like the content here, there will be plenty more to come. I'll see you guys in the next video, and until then, may the pips be with you.